Final race on the programme at Sha Tin on Sunday is a Class 2 contest, so it's the high class for the afternoon. 1,400 metres is the trip. Decrypt heads them. Put on for the first time. He was beat one home in the Champions March. Does still hold that Derby entry. Glorious Spectrum, runner up on his last start on the final day of the season. He's first up for the campaign. Flashcard makes his Hong Kong debut, a three-time winner out of the UK. Super Wealthy's won 2 of his 3 starts so far over the 1200, 14 for the first time for him. Superstar last start course and distance winner. Assimilate up in class, also a last start winner. Taking Aim comes up in class from barrier 10. He'll probably roll forward. And Mongolian King, another one coming up in class. He has won in this grade in the past, but he's been runner up on his last 3, most recently behind Beauty Rush. Mongolian King is the only horse that's been up at Chung Fa in this race in the last 30 days. Now, we've made our way to the touchscreen to have a look at the speed map and a couple of key races as well. And it is Taking Aim, who's coming from a wide gate there, barrier number 10, I think it is, with Lyle Hewitt's in the saddle. On Lyle's final day, his final ride, trying to make all the running.
Here's one for John Moore, and he's got plenty of pace and he could be up there. This horse here, Cordyceps, is not immune to sitting handy as well. He could potentially sit on the outside of Raging Blitzkrieg, or he might like to go up and apply a little bit more pressure to Taking Aim. If that was the case, it potentially could go to good. Assimilate got a dream run last time out to win. This horse here, Decrypt, should get a nice run from his draw with the blinkers on first time. And quite a few of these runners do like to get back. Generous Charity, Mongolian King, a lot of these runners like to get back. Poor old Lobo's Legend is out just about in the river over there, so hopefully he can get in somewhere, but the gate is awkward for Lobo's Legend. One more to mention as well, Super Wealthy, he's been impressive so far. He should get a nice run in transit as well. Yeah, no luck with the draws for Lobo's Legend of late, so yeah, don't be surprised to see him drop in and look for some cover. What have we got track work-wise though, Paul?
I'm going to start off with Decrypt. He's only had the limited starts here. He was looking at it as a possible Derby campaign, but he's dropping back now to 1,400 metres. I think that's gone, and you can see him hitting the line really nicely in this piece of work. Heavenly Thought has been in great form recently himself, but wasn't pushed. This one horse here, Glorious Spectrum. Now, he's had bled in the past. He's got a cross noseband on. He's changed stables. He's now with Ricky Yu. He's won a trial, though, and his work's been pretty good leading into it as well. That's the 2, Glorious Spectrum. And here's the horse likely to start, his favourite, Super Wealthy. His last 2 starts have both been very, very good. He's going to get a nice draw, and maybe he can send Alexi Bedell off with a smile on his face.
Absolutely, yeah. Trained by Douglas White. So let's go back to Douglas. He talks about Super Wealthy with Ed.
Douglas, Super Wealthy. That was a very good win from him last time.
It was. He's improved. He's a lovely individual. Pennies dropped with him. He came here with a bit of a headstrong case, and you know he thought his mouth was the boss. And it's taken a bit of time for him to realise that he can do things the right way and relax. And I think his racing's indicating that. And I think it's time for him to now step up to 7 furlongs.
What about the step up in class on the weekend?
I'm not really concerned about the class. He is a classy individual. It's more about, I just hope that he gets a comfortable run round, and again, you know, that his racing manners allow him to finish the race off.
Are you confident heading into the weekend with him?
I'm confident. He's in good shape. You know, he's a lovely horse. I've been on him all his gallops, and he's indicated to me that he's improved from his last run.
Looks a very nice, progressive young horse for Super Wealthy. He's run and win 2 starts back as well, with Super beating Invincible Missile. Yeah,
it really was, and he's had to do it the tough way in a couple of his runs so far, but again, he showed his class last time out by winning well over Ballistic King, top win, and I think he can go on with again.
Yeah, he's a really nice young horse, isn't he? Seems to be going through the grades well, still a 4-year-old, so he looks good. No, I think he's going to be tough to beat. I think he can, as I said, send Alexi off with a smile.
All right. Yeah, I think he probably deserves to be favourite, but having said that, it's a deep race as well. Horses like Superstar, he's had a few internal issues, Superstar, pulling up with blood in his trachea, but this is him last time out, and it's another win.
He drawn 12 here again. Like, he drew 9 at this win as well. He's had no luck with the draws, 9, 10, 14, 7, 9, and now 12. So change the jockey with Sylvester leaving. Karis Teaton will jump aboard Superstar, and it was a nice win. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. Look, this was over 14. He's still running over the 1,400 metres, so you wouldn't be surprised if he went on with it.
He came from the rear half of the field. He's obviously got those internal issues because he has had blood in the trachea on a number of occasions, but it's obviously just not quite getting to that point where it becomes a real concern. But no doubt, he obviously tries really hard.
Yeah. All right, more winning form here with Assimilate, who got up very late. You can see him sweating on a run there down on the inside at this stage of the super run and a super turn of foot when he did get out. Lobo's Legend looking for room out at the back here. He finishes fifth, taking aim down the rail in front, eventually weakens out of it. And Racing Fighter has been an eye-catching run a couple of times so far this season.
Yeah, this was a terrific win from Assimilate. He'd been threatening on a few occasions this year over Seattle Choice, who's since come out and won. He's been very impressive in his last effort. But he was under quite a ride here because we had Taking Aim looking good there, and he's still probably 2 lengths off here, and he had to get through a gap to Purton, but never gave up, really lifted strongly. Like you can see there, Lobo's Legend just running out of room, finally getting a gap there, and good old Racing Fighter out wider as well.
Yeah, he's good, well rated now, Racing Fighter. He's won off a lot higher rating before and shows there that he's back to some sort of form with that sort of run. And as you say, Seattle Choice did come out and win after that as well.
Yeah, Zach will ride Decrypt though here. Assimilate will be ridden by Derek Long. Next one we'll take a check on. We're back with Lobo's Legend here once more. Again, out the back, leaving it late, but that's his running style, and Racing Fighter once more down the middle.
Yep, it's been well documented, the situation with the Racing Fighter last time out. Matthew Poon jumps on board this time round. He probably should have finished a little bit close, but as I said, well documented into the situation with the ride there. In Lobo's Legend, he got a long way back, and he's probably going to have to get back from that wide stall again. He's at a bad draw with the runs 11, 13 and now 14. Just keeps getting wider for him. He's running well. He's on a mark of 81, so he's actually quite close to that class drop. It was the first time in a few starts he dropped at least 1 point.
Yeah, it's a sort of horse for me that it needs everything to go his way, Lobo's Legend. So from the wide draw, that's what put me off with him.
Yeah, and he'd want some pace on if it did set up in that sort of manner. Then you could see him flashing home late once more. Decrypt, we can have a look at him now, along with Band of Brothers. This is back at the trials. Decrypt there and Band of Brothers right in behind. Yeah,
look, Decrypt I think is going to be the hardest for Super Wealthy to beat. His 3 runs, particularly his last 2 runs have both been good. He went into the 4-year-old series up against horses like Golden 60 at his last start. But prior to that, you know, his third behind Beauty Legacy and Perfect Match were both really good runs. And he hit the line nicely, I thought, in this trial as well. So I expect him to run pretty well.
Yeah, the hood, rather, should say, going on for Decrypt, Zach Purton and Frankie Law. The other one in that trial was Band of Brothers. Now, he was a bit disappointing, I thought, last time out, going back to the 11th, but he's had a slight freshen up, and I thought he hit the line okay there without being pressured too much, and he's at a big price of 22 to 1.
Yeah, and he's got a good course and distance record as well. This is Glorious Spectrum, so first up for the season. He's had some bleeding problems himself, but sometimes fresh is the time to catch.
Yeah, crossover noseband on board for him. He's been beaten in the shadows in his last run by Fast Most Furious, going back to the last race of last season on the 14th of July. He failed the vet with blood in the trachea after bleeding in a barrier trial going back to the 24th of September. But he seems to have been winning his trials. He's now with Ricky Yu. Yet to win from 4 starts, but 3 minor placings. He did trial okay there.
He's definitely got the ability, there's no question. They have persevered with him. As Andrew said, getting them fresh, I think, is the key for him. So I put him in on a minor line.
All right, but Super Wealthy, the one to beat?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's a nice, young, progressive horse. His last 2 wins have both been pretty strong. I think he can win again. Decrypt, the biggest danger. Did bring some good form from overseas when he got here. And those thirds behind Perfect Match, Beauty Legacy, are both pretty good. And for third, I've got the 11, which is Racing Fighter, and fourth there, Glorious Spectrum. The horse we just talked about with the bleeding record, but his trial was pretty good, I thought, leading into this. 7, 1, 11, 2.
7 on top for me as well. Super Wealthy stepping up to the 1400 metres. I think he should really eat up the ground here, Super Wealthy. Throwing in Band of Brothers, he's my Q horse at a big price. Decrypt number 1. Then I tossed up between 8 Superstar and 2 Glorious Spectrum. Put in Superstar, but I'd be keeping Glorious Spectrum safe. 7, 9, 1 and 8.
All right, we're all working around similar sort of numbers. We've all got, though, Super Wealthy on top there in the last. All right, as far as the stats are concerned coming into this meeting, we're looking at, probably quite appropriately, we've heard a bit from him today, Paul, Douglas White.
Yeah, so backing up this last start winners there, he's got a good win rate there of 27%. He's had 22 runners there with the 6 wins. So once they find their form, they tend to go on with it. You can see Super Wealthy is the one we're going to focus on. We could have done In a Flame as well, but we've gone with it. Super Wealthy, far above, didn't win his last start, did he?
No, but would you make him a best bet?
who
We love a 1.1 shot.
1.1, loving that. No, War of Courage, lightweight, up in grade, very progressive horse with only the 3 starts. He's got better and better with all 3. I think he's up to the bottom of Class 3. Bulletproof at a massive price, this horse. He'll be 50 to 1 plus. He's only had the 1 start in the all-weather, and I like the way he hit the line, and his track work's been good since, so we'll take a chance with him. Harmony and Rich, Allied, Agility and War of Courage to play in race.
Best for me, it comes up in race number 7, Circuit 3. I think he can go on with it for Chad Schofield and Tony Cruz. Race 7, number 2. Menagio, race 5, number 9 for Ricky Yu and Matthew Poon on a value line. And the play with Circuit 3 will banker him, Snapfit Guy Dragon. Great treasure, he's always there. Gift of Lifeline, flying bonus. Just one page.
Good luck, good luck. My best bet here, sort of on the theory that Inner Flame's going to be overbet. We've got a good price about this horse up in trip, and it's, well, we're doubling down with Derek here. Baby Storm in race number 4, probably looking for 1,400 metres, but hopefully we can get him home at 12. Exponential Beluga and Baby Storm is the QQP for me. Best bet should come with a health one. I couldn't buy a best bet at the moment, but the long shot's been running okay. Right, that's it for the show, but Hong Kong Direct this week on the Multimedia Showcase. I know Tom's already watched it. Paul, that's something for you to tune into tonight?
No, it looks good, actually. With of course, we've got a new colleague starting as well. So
exactly.
Had a chat to him and...
well, I didn't.
Well, Edward did. Edward did. But you know what I mean. You're the host.
That's the show. Thanks for watching. On behalf of Tom, Paul and the rest of the team, hopefully see you at Sha Tin on Sunday. We will be racing to win.
Good night.